Can you believe it? An actual Sid Highwind figure. You probably have no idea how incredibly rare this is. So don't get used to it. And just to prove my point, I currently have, I think it's around 275 or something unique figures, specifically from Final Fantasy VII. 52 Cloud figures, 35 Sephiroth figures, 32 Tifa figures, and so on. But this is my 5th Sid figure, and I've brought them all out to show you guys. Look at them all. Oh, what, you can't see them? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one of them came out last year, this one, with the black pants and the missing scarf. Why? But the other 3 all came out in 1997. 97, 97. And except for one figure that I'm not collecting, this is all that exists of Sid Highwind. This is it. I can hold it all in one hand, like this. And I gotta say, this box image is over the top. And by that I mean literally, his spear goes over the top. You know, immediately when I see these, I'm always blown away by the color. They look so good. Okay, wow. Okay, whoa. This is pretty cool. It's a relatively small figure, and don't worry, I am going to compare it to all the others at the end. But the stiffness is, for once, exactly what you'd expect from a figure like this. If this was the only figure that I had from this line, I'd be like, there's nothing wrong with the stiffness of this line, because look at this. This is great. I also noticed on the box that he's holding this hand in his pocket, and I was like, how the hell are they gonna do that, you know? Because that is officially the way that he stands, with his hand in his pocket. You can see that with this one. Apparently, there's an actual hole there for you to put the stud into. So that's pretty cool. And looking at this, I am really glad that we did get an additional, more neutral face, because although I'm really happy to have a figure with teeth, because that's pretty rare too, on the art, he does look to his side, but he's technically looking into the camera. He's looking at you. But now he's like looking off to the side awkwardly.
I'd like to have a pair of these if I ever get pulled over for speeding.
Yeah. So,
do you know why you've been pulled over? I have no idea.
Altogether, he comes with 7 different hands, and 2 of the hands can hold his weapon, but both of them are his left hand. And that's something that I wanted to know, actually. How many of you, be honest, have thought about the fact that Sid is left-handed? Because I think all of us know that Sephiroth is left-handed. But if you look at the original, he's not always. In fact, he may actually never be left-handed in the original game. Like, he is on the art. Like, he's meant to be left-handed, but he never actually was, I think. And if you look at the original Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth, he's definitely not left-handed. But anyway, I think we all knew that Sephiroth is left-handed. But did you know that Sid is left-handed? And did you also know that Reno is left-handed? I know that's a weird thing to be interested in, but I think that's fascinating. I'm not left-handed, by the way, in case you were wondering if I had any bias. But yeah, but I like it. It makes him more interesting. It's not what you'd expect from such a character like him. You know, Sephiroth, ooh, he's all kinds of wrong, you know, ooh. Well, that's controversial. I can't really say that something wrong with being left-handed. Okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about it. Because I had an angle with Reno too that I was gonna be like, oh, he's kind of okay. Let's not go there. There's nothing wrong with being left-handed. The color on this is amazing. As always, I will point out that he is more purple than usual. I don't know if that shows up on camera, but this jacket is really purple, especially if you compare it to this one, which is more teal. Let's look at this one too. Many of you probably have this one. You know that this one is blue. Look at that. It is definitely comparatively more purple. I love the warm brown color that they've used. Like, this is the kind of color that I would go for like my clothes, my shoes, and stuff like that. Sid is probably the character that has the most like similar fashion to me. Like, I have these pants, I have these shoes. I don't have these gloves or this jacket or whatever, but the bottom half of him, this is me. This is literally me. You're looking at me right now. I think this Highwind logo is pretty cool. And apparently, this shoulder says airport, or it's air_port. Okay, guys, hashtag air_port. Sid was ahead of his time. And someone in my comments told me that there was an issue with the head, and I haven't really touched the head yet, but let's see if there's anything wrong with it. But I'm guessing you can take it off, and you could. Cool. And oh, if you want to go scarfless, you can. You can give it to this guy because he's missing it. And there you go. And I have to say, no, my friend, I don't see any issue with the head on mine. So I think you got unlucky, whatever the issue was. I don't know why I keep putting his fists up, but he just looks like he's ready to fight. Come at me, bruh. The spear. This might unfortunately be the weakest link of this entire thing, because it's literally just a super thin, hard piece of plastic. It's not soft, which would probably lead to bending, obviously, but I think I'd rather have a spear bend, like this one. Like, you can do that with it. I'd rather have that than have a spear that's going to break. If this Sid ever falls over and this spear gets in the way, this is going to break. And I think we need to talk about the elephant in the room. If we look at these two figures from 1997, an obvious thing that's missing
from the new Brain Arts figure
is the cigarette. And also, even though it's not painted on this one, the cigarette packet with one cigarette sticking out is stuck into the straps of the goggles. And the same with over here, except here it's actually painted for some reason. And not here. And even this tiny, tiny figure, they have the cigarette box with one cigarette sticking out of the goggle strap. But Square Enix has decided that Sid is no longer a smoker. And with this figure, they are kind of rewriting history, because this is an original figure. This is based on the 1997 game, and throughout the entire FF7, Sid is constantly smoking and has a cigarette packet in the goggle strap. On the one hand, I personally hate smoking. I have family members who smoke and all that. I even know people who have died as a result of heavy smoking their entire life and so on. But I'm still upset that Sid doesn't have it. I think fictional characters who run around with weapons, who kill people and monsters and everything like that, it's allowed to smoke, even a lot, you know. And I actually had plans to sort of scatter stuff in the background, like tiny miniature cigarette butts, an ashtray, and stuff like that all over, and not really talk about it. That was like my plan. I am okay with it. They have made it so that smoke is a big part of Sid's character in Rebirth.
We gotta send up smoke.
The way that you contact him in Rebirth is by sending up smoke signals, literally.
You've never heard of smoke signals?
You know, I'll send up smoke is a big line at the end of Rebirth and so on. It's all sort of a reference to Sid's smoking.
Boy, am I ever glad I sent up smoke.
So it's not disrespectful rewriting of it. They are paying homage to it.
Follow the smoke!
I'm just really curious to how they're gonna do some of Sid's limit breaks, because they are freaking iconic. Please do something cool with it. Like, have him pull out a match from a matchbox, light the match with the match in his mouth, and then he can, you know, light the dynamite with the matchstick in his mouth, right? If you do that, I'm okay with it. But okay, let me find a pose for him, and then I'll compare him to all the other characters. And here's the entire party, from shortest to tallest. You were knee-high to a tonberry. And I was what? Tall as a smogger, I'd wager. I guess. It's kind of hard to tell with some of them, like Tifa and Aerith and Cloud and Vincent. I know a lot of people were disappointed by his height, and I'm not really sure how tall he's supposed to be in the original. I think we may have made him taller in our minds, and then the compilation sort of did the same. But he's definitely a little bit taller than Cloud here. But as we can see, Sid is then taller than Vincent. So is that accurate? I don't know. I feel like the scale was very consistent for a while, and then we got this, and then we got this. And from there, everything just went to shit.
Not that you've got a choice, but thank you for choosing Bronco Airlines.
And here we are. One thing that's funny about this section, and this wasn't planned, but this has sort of turned into the green pants section. Except for you. Purest of pants no more, with pain and spite made black. Anyway, I've been thinking more about the non-smoking thing, and I feel it's kind of ironic that now the only good guy who smokes in the entire remake series is the Sector 5 slum doctor.
Why, hello, Aerith. As popular as ever, I see.
The doctor is allowed to smoke, but not the pilot mechanic dragoon guy. Is it because it's a pipe? Because I'd be okay with a pipe for Sid. That would honestly be kind of cool. It would make him more classy, you know? You know what, Sid? This is for you. Anyways, a lot of you have been asking for a collection tour, and I thought today's the day. Everybody, take a good look. Here's everything that I have. Here's Cloud's section, as you can see, and here's, fuck, I can't even see. I think Yuffie's over there. I think this is Aerith, right? Oh, shit.